Hey everybody, it's Mark here again with Exotic Car Play Place, welcoming all of you guys back to the channel today. Today I want to ask you guys for your opinion. That's what today's discussion is about. I'm going to give you a little bit of the history and the background, but at the end of the day, I'm really looking for you guys and your comments below, listed below the video, that's going to give me some direction for next steps. I'm really looking for direction from you guys, the viewers, because you guys have the answers. You guys really have a lot of great experience, a lot of great opinions. I appreciate that, I welcome that, and I respect your guys' opinion because you guys, after all, are the viewers, the watchers, but more importantly, you're the auto enthusiasts and you really do know these cars. So I'm looking for your opinion on this video. But before we get started, everybody, I want to make sure that you guys all know that, hey, if you're a subscriber to my channel already, that's super. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please do subscribe, and you'll find that not only this video is going to give you some great information, but also if you take the time to browse my channel, you'll find a lot of great videos on there that will certainly shed some light on a lot of different topics related to supercars and such. But anyway, let's get back to it, guys. Today's video, I really want to focus on the idea of tuner BMWs, tuner cars. Tuner cars, we know, are very popular today. It's something that lots of people like their cars different. They like them different from what you would normally buy from the factory. A lot of people, yeah, they buy their cars new, they drive them, they like them, and you buy them because of what it is and how it performs. But as you know, vehicles age, and as new technology comes out, you find yourself with the older vehicles doing things to try to improve its performance, maybe its looks, its styling, and as a result, you're always seeking for options, the best options to do that with. Now, as you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm a heavy advocate of the supercar. In particular, a lot of the V10 engine cars are really my special, really near and dear to the heart. They're normally aspirated engines, of course. Ferrari engines, I love them. They're engineering masterpieces. And, I also have a soft spot for turbocharged high performance engines as well. As you've seen other videos of mine, 911 turbos and such like that. So I really have a special appreciation for any high performance car. But today, I'm really going to ask you guys what my next project BMW should be, with the heavy focus on the fact that I would like to buy a car that is very, very tunable. So let's get started. What I want to introduce is the idea of tuning a car in general. Obviously, with an M5 or the E60 M5 that I currently own, which, by the way, I'm not getting rid of for another vehicle. I just happen to be maybe adding another car to the fleet. But the E60 brings a special excitement to my, to the driving experience that I don't know if you can really replace with turbocharging so much. So I don't plan on removing the E60 or the Lambo from, my arsenal of vehicles at this time. I do want to add another car though, and I'm looking for your opinion on the best car in terms of the BMW world that would strike the bill for me. Now, where this is going is, I think about some of these cars, the V10 motors and the Ferrari V8s, they're all normally aspirated engines. They're all firing at a very high static compression ratio. They deal in high revs. They're tuned, their exhaust and intake tuning is set up to the optimal place where there's very, very little you can do in the way of true performance tuning to a lot of these cars. And so that brings me to, okay, if we're looking at BMWs, what is the best tuner BMW on the market? Because that's what I want to tackle next. I want a car that's potentially going to be able to, I'm able to tune it, extract much, much more horsepower than the factory provided out of it. But I know there are very limited cars in that genre, if you will. You think of cars like the E90 M3, awesome machine, same with the E60 M5. They're spectacular cars in their own right. and I haven't changed my tune about the way they are and the kind of special emotions that they bring. But I'm not looking for that right now. As a matter of fact, the M3, not a lot of tuning you can do to that car other than maybe a bolt-on supercharger. But the reality is they're really dialed in to a point where there's very little you can get out of them for extra power. You can do exhaust and intake, reflash ECUs and stuff, but really that's only going to get you a little bit more extra power. We're talking maybe 5%, 10% more power at the far end of that spectrum. So what I'm looking for is a car that is very tunable, that with some strap-on parts I can, possibly double the horsepower. Now, my opinion, a car that I'm looking at very specifically right now, and tell me if I'm out to lunch on this, guys, because this is the car, in fact, that I am very, very closely looking at, happens to be the early model BMW 335. The 335s, the reason I like those is because, especially the early ones where they had the twin turbochargers, they were more tunable. You could, with one simple little mod for $1,500, you could extract another 100 horsepower out of the cars. You could take them from their stock 300 horsepower up to an easy 400 horse without even really batting a lash. Now, I want to go beyond that. I want to do more than 400 horse. So I want a car that's very tunable, but I know that there's a lot of options for tuning. Flash tuning you've got Burger tuning, like the JB4 tune kits. You can do the Dynon kits. You can do, intercooler upgrades, turbo upgrades. You can also do downpipes like I said, you can do a lot of different upgrades on those cars and get those cars to the point where, if you've seen on the internet, there are cars out there of the 335 vintage or early vintages that are producing power up in excess of 900 horsepower. That's pretty extreme when you consider they came stock with 300. Now, we'll see how far I decide I want to go with this, because realistically, I still want a car that I can daily drive. So I'm looking for something that strikes the nice balance between reliability and maximum power. I may not necessarily be looking for that car with the absolute highest output available. I might be looking at something that's dialed back 50%, but I want it to be reliable, and I also want it to be very powerful. So you guys tell me what that next stage is. See, and the reason, you talk about the E60 M5s and the E90 M3s, you can't tune those very much. The E60 M5, we've talked about tuning upgrades. You could put stroker kits in there. You can do exhaust system upgrades and ECU and all that stuff there too. But on a good day, you might get somewhere in that 650 horsepower out of that car. Well, how about an early model 335 with a simple flash turbo? You've got a few bolt-on upgrades, no question about it, but you can push that 600 horsepower barrier very easily with that car. So that's really what I'm looking at, everybody, is a 335. You tell me if that's the car of choice, if that's the platform of choice. As well, again, because I live in a northern climate, we tend to see snow for a good part of the year. I'm considering the all-wheel drive version. What do you guys think about the all-wheel drive version? Or if you're looking for strict performance, would you suggest the rear-wheel drive is the way to go? I'm not sure. You let me know. Is the all-wheel drive even capable to sustain that sort of horsepower if I'm looking at those significant upgrades? Is that the way to go? So, you guys, honestly, I'm looking for your opinion. Right now I'm looking at a 335, possibly the XI. More than likely, it's going to be a manual transmission because I love manual gearboxes. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for the best tuner BMW available today. I don't want to buy a $130,000 M4 that I'm going to turn around and beat up and modify to the 9 so that I can output that. I'm looking for something that's a real tuner car that gets down to the grassroots that I'm not worried about tearing into and tearing parts out of. So a 335 for me right now sounds like it's going to strike the bill. But you guys tell me. I'm really interested in hearing your opinion. I know there's a lot of great experience out there. And I know there's some great YouTubers out there that base their channels on that platform of car as well. And I really hope you guys will chime in on this video because I know there's some great experience there just waiting in the wings. So love to hear from all you guys. And again, everybody, that's all I have for today. I just really looking to reach out to you guys. What's your opinion? Again, I encourage you guys to give me a thumbs up, like. Don't forget that comment below, as I already asked. Looking for, the best platform for modified BMW. And also don't forget to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. So everyone, thanks for joining me in my channel here, Exotic Car Play Place. Mark here, of course, signing out. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye.